thing if Jinx built one. But yeah, I'm not really sure. We haven't seen Karaoke play Poppy uh, career wide. Uh, so hopefully he's been playing in scrims, but this is certainly one of the Poppy picks that could go sideways. I think I'm still in favor of it, but yeah, it's definitely a question mark here.
Yeah, and you can also pick it for that flex potential as well early on in the draft. I also am thinking that's maybe why they picked it, as we did see some invades earlier today. None of the invades resulted in any kills, maybe just the flash or two burn, but not really any invades here, even with the same champions. Nautilus, of course, very strong, level 1 with that hook, but we're just waiting it out, hiding in some bushes, having a good time.
Yeah, potentially very strong. You got to watch the invade there, but or rather just let them invade. I think has been more the move so far this season. You're either 5 stacking through your own jungle looking for the enemy invade, or you're just kind of letting it happen. It's just not a lot of reason to coin flip a level 1 when you can't really. I mean, you can't teleport to anything, right? So
Yeah.
you're locked in as far as numbers disadvantages, and for all you know, the enemy has 5. If you have anything less than 5, there's no real point. Um, oh
Karaoke?
man, yeah.
Oh
What's this late
no.
invade?
Tyron, okay. I think he'll be okay. He's just getting a ward there. Now INTZ does know that Karaoke is starting on his blue buff, and without a leash as well will slow that Poppy clear down by quite a bit. Nice hook level 1 there by Decoy, but unfortunately just not really any follow-up CC does mean he has to just walk away and take a little bit of HP for his hook there.
Now, Cam, this is a deadly ward that Terran's just dropped, and yeah, here we go. I was gonna
Oh.
say Yebi's just gonna walk over here if he stands on the ward for too long.
Level 2 versus level 2 Karaoke has not completed his Gromp here quite
Jeez.
yet. Yep, he wants the kill, but he also wants the Gromp.
Whoa!
Karaoke
What?
flashing for the Gromp. I think he was able to secure it there, but that is some next level. You flash for Scuttle or Gromp. I don't know. I like Scuttles better.
Yeah, he says, "Get the heck out of my jungle." And what this really does for Karaoke, and I know flashing for Gromp seems really weird. What it does for Karaoke is it wastes the last minute 30 seconds for Yampy. Yampy did nothing in those minute and 30 seconds, right? He accomplished nothing. He got no XP. He got,
Oh no,
nothing
he's doing
there.
it
So
again.
he's gonna try to, but at this stage, he's behind, right? He's behind one camp, and Karaoke just got the reset, so he has additional. He does not have additional items, but he does have 2 allies here that are with him. This is just really poor from PNG. This is not good
Oh man.
whatsoever. You can't get double lanes rotating into your jungle. Just let that happen.
That is very unfortunate there for paiN. Yeah, Karaoke. He loses his chickens as well as his red buff. Yep, he's still sitting at level 2 though. Is gonna be forced to flash over that while not having the ward hop available. But man, you just lost half of your bottom side and was forced to flash for your Gromp. It is a rough early game here for Karaoke. I don't think he's gonna be double scuttled, so not as rough as some earlier jungles we've seen here today, but maybe I'm a believer. TP being chilled in from Kick though, I wasn't that worried. Kick, he stole away the chickens without a contest from Karaoke, but he was a level 3 rise sitting at a quarter of mana. That was very dangerous from him.
Yeah, and top to bottom, this has been once again fantastic macro for my INTZ. I don't know if they got like a new head coach or if just the coach they've been with the last couple of weeks is really starting to like whip them into shape or something like that. But you understand that big invade that INTZ just made into Karaoke's jungle has set him so far behind. Not only that, but I think pretty much half of this game so far, Karaoke has been on enemy vision. Even just that, Cam, is insane, right? I mean, having that perfect tracking on the enemy jungler is a monumental feat of macro gameplay there.
Yeah, it's one thing to be like, oh, I'm pretty sure he's clearing his red buff, but another thing to be like, we literally can see him clearing his red buff. If there is zero doubt about that, that means that you can make zero doubt about plays on the opposite side of the map, and just confidence alone can sometimes get you kills early on. As ball lane here, there's been some nice hooks between the Nautilus and Thresh here. Damage decoy just kind of finding it out. Maybe if you land a hook onto the AD carry, then it can turn into a kill. But so far at 5 minutes, Dragon, of course, Hextech Dragon first up here on Summoner's Rift. I don't think there's going to be that early of a Dragon here unless there's a kill in the bot lane.
I would agree with that as well. Another ramification of that invade is that I believe Kick and Mikau should be down a little bit in XP. We'll have to wait for them to actually level up to see that, but they should be at least down like a little bit, like a wave or so.
Yeah, Dunket is
Yeah,
6.
Denketo just leveled up there. So he'll have 6 before Kick, and that's important because of the matchup, right? They both teleport with their ult. Oh, yeah. As soon as he hits 6, Denketo just walks off the map. And even just this, even just walking out of vision provides so much pressure. You see me count decoy, immediate reset, like immediate reset. They're like, no way, not even close to happening. And you'll see Dunketo do this throughout the game, just walk off the map to provide pressure, because you have to back off at that point. You can't afford to call his bluff.
Yeah, and though Kick was able to hit level 6 very quickly after dying Kato, Rise is such a mana-hungry champion, especially early on. Even with Corrupting Pot and Tier, right? He is constantly sitting at a quarter of his mana, maybe even lower. So it's so hard for him to look for his roams when dying Kato. Even if he's sitting at the same mana as Kick, he can still find those kills with the help of his other abilities and auto attacks that do a lot more damage than Kick's do. Flash forward onto dying Kato. They're looking for that flush blood. Nice hook from Decoy. First blood will be picked up there by a Kick, but did burn 2 flashes for it. Nothing burned from Dunketo.
It's just a misplay here from Dunketo. You literally orchestrated the reset there from Mikau and Decoy. You have to know a Nautilus is going to be roaming after the reset there. That's just what Nautilus does, and not playing safe enough, I don't think. I don't know. It feels like a forced error, right? It feels like he did, or an unforced error, excuse me. He definitely could have been further back on that one, but I think he's still fine. He should be able to, yeah, he teleports back in the lane, so he should be okay there. But yeah, one of the things we'd like to point out about the Twisted Fates and CBLOL, and really just any Twisted Fate, is that you have the unsealed spellbook, right? So not only do you have the ultimate, you also have teleport that turns into ignite, that turns into teleport. So it's a strong champion in that way, that you get both of those summoner spells.
And it also kind of helps with how the TP was just recently changed, right? As now you kind of have half a summoner spell until 14 minutes, but if you do take Unsealed Spellbook, then you can actually use other summoner spells that aren't half of their summoner spell before 14 minutes. So with Ignite, I'm not too sure if there will be any kills, maybe not solo kills onto Kick, but if he does have some help from damage or a karaoke, could definitely result in some help gank kills. There's a whole lot of roaming going on down here in the bottom side. Not a whole lot of vision or kills going on, as potential Rift Herald here started up by paiN. Wards are going on to it as pings as well. Wiser and Karaoke, I do think that they can duo this, but they're on full vision. Everyone knows that they're on it.
I would say so, yeah. Anyone who's looking at the mini map will definitely know that, but I want to see Impy try and trade back the dragon here. I don't think he can with enemy bot lane bearing down on him, but there's nothing stopping you from keeping Mikau and Decoy roaming up here, getting the man advantage, and taking the dragon.
Damage is going to be hooked up there by Decoy. Going to be forced to flash away there as well. Nice Lantern, but unfortunately Lantern cannot save your own life. Super Mega Death Rocket will not do quite enough damage. Man,
a lot of damage.
He just about is able to make it out. I don't think you can kill Trigo right now. He has level 6. He has red and white guns. As much as you can land all the leasing kills you want onto him, I don't think you really want to be fighting him at 1v1 at melee range.
This is a great answer. Karaoke and Trigo looking for Mikau. Mikau should be backing off there. There you go. Yeah, I'd like to see Karaoke force the issue there. They have... Oh, yeah, I see the problem. They don't have any vision controlling around the spot lane. You see the double control wards? That's not good at all, right? It definitely shouldn't be leaving it up that way, but the big roam mid lane there for Trigo and Damage leaves them with a lacking vision control. should be able to get that back, but still looking for someone to look for that first dragon. Maybe Karaoke drops this Rift Herald and rotates over to look for that. Maybe they just look for first tower here.
Yeah, lots of gold being funneled onto Trigo and Karaoke with the help of that Rift Herald. It was kind of unfortunate though. They did bring Trigo and Damage up into the mid lane to help with Rift Herald. It was kind of just as a pressure and tempo play. They weren't really there to actually win any fights or even start any fights for that matter. But the fact that they walked up there and then they had to walk back through their completely unwarded blind jungle, it was just like, well, I sure hope no one's here to hook me, right? It's like, well, we're just face checking our own jungle at this point, walking around completely blind, and that's why you saw the flash being burned from the Thresh. And Trigo very luckily didn't have to burn anything, as they definitely could have tried to turn it back onto him. Rift Herald popped down there in the bottom lane, though, does give Trigo at least a little bit of gold to try and catch back up. I do still think Macau has quite a solid lead over him. It's sitting at 15 CS above him currently, just between the two AD carries. First dragon picked up here. Not any kills to lead into it so far. Very slow game, all focused on macro.
For sure, yeah, and both teams doing pretty well. I would give this one INTZ if I have to decide between them, though. They've been doing incredibly well. But it seems like every move they make is almost matched by paiN Gaming. We've had some real,
Yes.
some real question marks, but the two teams are neck and neck. That is for sure. INTZ giving up first Rift Herald, taking the first dragon, and for me, I'll take the dragon. That's a lot of gold in hand for the Rift Herald. Crash down the bot lane. It goes on your Hypercarry Aphelios too, so some real value there. But yeah, I'm just a big dragon guy. Don't know what else to tell you, Cam. Yeah, that's unfortunate. That's a big tempo hit there.
That is unfortunate. Yeah, luckily Trigo was able to stack. I believe that was 2 full waves on that tower, so stopping his back isn't actually going to mean a whole lot. He still gets a nice cheater off as Damage. You think he's caught out, but then Karaoke has the nice ult over the wall to make sure he will be okay. As again, you are walking through this jungle completely blind right now if you're a paiN Gaming. You just have to assume that decoy is hovering in every single bush. You walk in that bush, you're going to get hooked. Now Karaoke had to use that ultimate now, so Macau, he could potentially be caught out here as 3v2 in the jungle. Decoy forced flash over the wall. Karaoke will follow, but Dankedo is the one able to pick up that kill. Meanwhile, Macau, he got a couple plates for himself solo in the bot lane and just gets to walk back to his tower.
Certainly does there. Kicking up, you're looking for revenge. They're not going to find it.
Karaoke, nice knock up there onto the wall, but knocking up a Lee Sin when he can just dash out is usually not going to result in any kills.
Yeah, he gets the stun off on the wall, but you're at Ace, too mobile, right? You need the W down, and I don't think Yampy had it up, or Karaoke had it up. It's just too long a cooldown to use in situations like that where you get surprised by the enemy jungler in your jungle. You're probably not going to have it up after a fight like they had previously, but Tyrion.
3v1 here in the top lane. Kick actually going to be flashing in onto Weiser. Nice root landed onto him as well. Yampy, the one able to pick up that kill, just kind of coming in with that flash on the back end of the fight, is able to get 1 kill for himself. Now 2-1 in kills for INTZ, and a whole lot of gold being put into their pockets as well. It is only a 100 gold lead so far in their favor, which is literally nothing, but across the map, you have the gold on the right people.
Fully agree with you there, Cam. Just the kill down to Yampy, maybe taking a little bit away from him there. Yeah, all right, but we'll be just fine. It's a great play on the Weiser. Some of the first news we've heard from that top lane, right? That's the first death up top there, and I guess we can go ahead and talk about it a little bit. Weiser has a bit of a CS lead. Of course, after that play, I think Tyrion's doing just a bit better, but yeah, as this game progresses into the late game, I think Weiser outscales Tyron, I would go ahead and say. But yeah, neither of them is doing particularly well. It's just the CS, right? Everybody else on the map has
Macau, he walked into melee range there of Trigo, takes the full ultimate, and he just kind of walks away. They're not really trading anything back. Not not even having to use the summoner spell, actually just taking 3/4 of his HP bar there. I think he could probably safely recall it. The only thing that's not going to be safe is his tower. And Trigo, he's not even going to look at taking it. He gets the plate for himself. Actually, no, plates already fell. He gets the tower for himself. First tower will fall, and second tower almost about to fall up here in the top lane for Wiser.
The white gun just actually isn't fair.
It
Trigo
is.
makes great use of it there. Just wild to see him, for starters, get so much value out of a gun, but also just blow through a single gun in like 30 seconds is so crazy. Um, yeah, he cycled like through 4 guns in the last minute or so. Ooh, Denkato.
Nice hook once again onto Kato Karaoke, charging up that ultimate, able to bring Kick out of the fight. Now it's a 3v3 here in the mid lane, but Kick able to use that Realm Warp to get back into the fight. Kato not going to be able to live. Yep, he brings him under the tower right before he falls here as well. Wiser arriving a little bit late to this fight. He comes in, tries to kill Kick, but he will get hooked up by Decoy. Willful Tyrant, the one able to pick up that kill, but Trigo with the Gale Force forward turns it back onto Mikau. Very nice in the end. I believe that was a 2v2 or 2 for 2 even there in the mid lane. Unfortunately, no objectives up quite yet. 10 seconds on the Ocean Dragon though.
Could be an option for him there. I think Trigo takes the reset with damage. And here's that replay for you. It was the big hook in onto Kato to start out the fight. Karaoke knocks away the enemy Rise. But unfortunately for them, Mikau shows up, and Mikau is more of a damage threat than even the Rise is currently. Yampy goes just way too deep.
Yeah.
just way too deep there, and is caught out for it. Wiser tries to 1v4, not quite there yet, buddy. Trigo in with the dash. That looked like Gale Force to me. Yeah, it's Gale Force forward for Trigo, and gets the pick off. But trades going back and forth. It didn't look like a great fight.
No.
Yeah, a couple INTZ specials there, but also just Wiser into the 1v4 did not make a lot of sense. But it's over now, Kim, and we don't have to talk about it anymore.
Yeah, we can just pretend that it never happened. You know, if they didn't make a replay, that would have been a whole lot easier. But you know, it was. I don't think that was a double kill, but at least 1 kill for Trigo does give him now 2-0-1 and a little bit of a shutdown there as well. 9 CS a minute on the Aphelios. He is going to be scaling a whole lot quicker and become a whole lot more of a problem than Mikau will, just quicker than he will, of course, later on in the game past the 30-minute mark. Mikau is going to scale up infinitely more than the Aphelios were, especially with 2-0 currently sitting on the Dragons. Yampy and Kick have a potential flank. I don't think they're actually going to pull the trigger here with the tower still sitting at almost full HP. Speaking of towers, that top lane outer tower was taken during the replay, I do believe.
I believe so. Yeah, I think that's correct. And yeah, just a little bit more gold in Wiser's pocket there, but see if he can get onto a second item soon. Definitely looking for this Grave scaling. I think it's important for paiN moving forward, but yeah, they're Aphelios. That's their hyper carry. I like your point about Jinx. I have like infinite belief in Jinx right now. I think Jinx is incredibly strong. But yeah, it's, you can't ignore Aphelios' pedigree as a hyper carry, and he is 2-0-1, so he's got 2 items completed there as well. But yeah, I mean, couple things. Trigo doesn't have tier 2 boots. That's important for him. Mikau does. You do have the Thresh giving you a lot more mobility, so that's something working in Trigo's favor as well. If he can get onto targets, he should absolutely destroy them, but he might have an issue getting onto targets.
He did also, or Trigo did also just complete that LDR as well. First,
Yeah.
not first actually. Quite a few people have the 2 item power spike. Wiser with that collector, and Danketo with the RFC on top of the Everfrost. Lots and lots of items being completed here, which does mean team fight very shortly. Lots of power spikes being popped. Quite a lot of damage being canceled out of there by the Gwen W. Of course, Gwen is immune. You cannot touch her, and apparently that means you also cannot touch her team. Rift Herald dropped here in the mid lane. Not gonna waste any HP of that on that outer tower. Instead, gets that first hit into the inner tower, saving a little bit of HP. I'm not too sure if anyone wants to pull the trigger, as Mikau did just recall, so it is a 4v5 here in the mid lane. paiN, they take the first tower, they get the first Rift Herald hit onto the second tower, and just back away slowly and happily. They are still sitting a little bit gold up, less than 1,000 though, so not going to mean a whole lot if they do try to 5v5.
It's no contest there for my INTZ. They're just going to back off. But during the exchange, Kick finished Fimbulwinter. So that's a pretty big spike for him there. You talked about the two spike, two item spike there already. And Kick gets another massive spike there. Rise, the builds have been so tanky this season. The mana tank item, Fimbulwinter, has really pushed this champion over the top as like a mid lane mage tank. And he will be nigh unkillable going into these next team fights. And that's a scary place to be for paiN when their hyper carry Aphelios and their Wiser are both physical tanks. And Kick is going to be starting to stack armor here.
On top of that, Kick also is sitting at, I believe, 11 CS a minute there on the Rise. So he's sitting real pretty with, what, 40 CS lead over Dying Kato as well. I don't even know how things like this happen. Like, he's lost his tower, but he's like, you know what, guys? I got my CS lead. I won my lane. Just don't worry about my tower. We can get that outer tower in the mid lane soon. Next dragon, Cloud Soul Point, spawning for INTZ at just 60 seconds. It is all a game of poke and vision now. Currently, all vision in this jungle is in favor of paiN. Tyron could be caught out here in the bottom lane, is able to dodge out that hook from damage though, and giving 2 tower shots worth of damage, or 2 damage as well. We'll take him down to half his HP. 30 seconds before this dragon, paiN, they have to fight it. Yampy almost caught out there by the gold card, is able to dodge over the wall. Flash hook from Decoy even onto Karaoke. 1v1 in the bottom lane going on there as well. Wiser trying to get over the wall. 1v1 into Tyra though is so hard. Melee range Graves is not going to be winning that one. Tyron 5v4 now in the favor of INTZ and paiN Gaming. They realize that, and they're just going to have to be forced to give this next dragon.
Yep. Hate the Graves pick. Hate it. We don't have to talk about it anymore, though. Dragon spawns on the map. Yampy, there's no way he just solos it for free, right? I mean, come on. Right? No way. I don't know. I think it's starting to feel like a jungle diff, and I don't want to hate on the Poppy pick because I really like it, but Yampy's been one step ahead of Karaoke this whole game long, so I don't know if it's like an execution error or what. I think it really is just immaculate preparation on the part of INTZ. They've had really good macro play, but it's hard to call, just showing up to solo a dragon at 22 minutes as the enemy jungler as immaculate macro play. I mean, that's just basic stuff, right? Show up for the dragon when it spawns. I think anybody would do that, but here we go, a little death bush.
Decoy, hook the bush. Oh, he hooked the bush and it didn't land. Nice gold card there from Dying Kato, but unfortunately only lands onto Decoy. And you're probably not going to be one-shotting Decoy here anytime soon. He has built that locket as well as the Ninja Tabbies, so it is going to be quite hard to probably not even just one-shot him, but kill him in general. Nice hook there by damage. It is just a vision play now. Baron is the only objective sitting here on the map. Top turret here, or outer turret, top turret here will eventually fall. Karaoke potentially going in here onto Decoy even. Kick on the backside though. TP coming in here as well.
That's
Decoy not going to be able to run away very easily. Trigo not going to have the ultimate available, and it's just going to be an immediate one-shot. Tyron exhausted though, so he's not going to be allowed to go back in. 5v5, still no kills. We are throwing everything at each other and not going to be able to pick anything back up. Yeah, be looking for a way back into this fight. Huge kick onto Trigo. He is gone, deleted from the map. Wiser, he's running away. Thresh Lantern will not connect for Karaoke, but he is already out of the fight. And once again, it is one pick into, let's turn it into a Baron, a Dragon, just get something else on the map.
Now, Cam, I'm hoping we get a replay on that last play, and I don't think we will because we're about to get into a Baron fight, but there was a really interesting interaction there with Poppy ult.
Yeah.
Did you see what happened there? I think damage hooked Decoy out of Poppy ult.
Here
we go.
Whoa. My gosh. The realm warp. Oh no, Karaoke, he is just gone. Wiser's gonna be next up here on the plate. INTZ.
Wow.
One kill into another kill and now the Baron was all a bait. In fact, they just wanted 2 more kills, and now it's like, okay, well, if you're dead, I guess we might as well Baron. And without a jungler, Poppy being dead for another 20 seconds, there can't even be a contest on this one.
It's just been great play from INTZ these last couple of weeks. I've been super impressed with them, Cam. So, looking forward to seeing this team climb up the ranks here. They've got the 4K gold lead, 3K. Sorry about that. But yeah, they got all the dragons. They got a Baron now. Everything is going super well for INTZ going into the back half of this game, and yeah, I think they'll be able to close it out within the next 10 minutes or so. Definitely want to see them move for that Cloud Soul. I think that's going to help them out immensely here. So the two highest win rate souls in CBLOL right now are first Infernal and then second Mountain. Cloud's like
Oh,
fourth, I think. So Cloud's not super good as in terms of win rate, but a lot of that is because we don't see too many carries like Rise, and we don't see nearly enough of Jinx, in my opinion. And those two carries make really good use of movement speed, right? You bring the damage inherently to the champion, but when you get movement speed, you get that damage onto the enemy team a lot easier. You become a lot harder to track down. Wiser's
oh
going to get
my.
picked again here, Cam, but we were all
Oh,
expecting this.
no. They brought 5 people up to kill Wiser, man. Like,
It was
he
a
just
death
has
squad.
he just has to shrug his shoulders and be like, "Well, there's 5 people in my lane, guys. I don't know what to do about this." There's 2 people behind, or 3 people even were behind him, 2 in front of him, and he just has to die. He doesn't even have flash to try and even attempt to get away. Inner turret taken, inhibitor, turret taken, inhibitor. Next up here, Baron is just so powerful for INTZ. As you see, 3,500 gold now in their favor just from the help of this Baron, and they're turning it on to these Nexus turrets here. Now Keto is forced to recall. Fairly Assault does 0 damage. Gwen is, of course, still immune, so
Is immune, yeah, and that's important because that ultimate was purple, right? So you can potentially eat the root there. So there we go. Donkato forward with the ultimate. Kind of a desperation play at that point, just making sure that they're leaving. And these
yeah.
reset timers are going to mean they're on the back
Oh,
foot for
they're not leaving.
Oh, oh,
Not
you
again.
sneaky.
Oh my
No,
gosh,
now
we're
they
holding
take
up.
the
Okay.
resets. I personally, I kill Wiser again, just for the memes. I think would be for me, but yeah, they are looking for the Dragon Soul, so definitely some more discipline for them there than I have. But yeah, Cloud Soul coming up in just a second here. Only 3 members of INTZ have died this game. Siren and Kick, the solo laners, have not died. Kind of plays into that 11 CS per minute that Kick has, right?
Yeah, and I also kind of want to talk about how somehow, with Weiser having so little fun so far in this game of League of Legends right now, he is still up in CS against Tyron. Maybe not by a whole lot, but still, even maintaining CS, let alone being up by just a couple minions, is quite good there from Weiser. Maybe we hate the Graves. Maybe we're a bunch of Graves haters on the CBLOL English broadcast. But you know what? He is still trying to make it work. Again, it's just I have CS, guys. I'm winning my lane.
For sure, yeah. And big push down the mid lane now. They're just leaving Cloud Dragon up for the time being.
Hook on to karaoke, taking a half HP there. He's just forced to ult away. Ult will hit onto Kick, but taking a 1 HP.
Ooh.
And the ultimate from Macau will connect. No jungler now for the next 40 seconds. You got Cloud Soul on the map, but you don't even want to take it. Outer turret taken, inner turret taken, another turret taken down there in the bottom lane. You only have inhibitor turrets left. And again, Cloud Soul, it's so useless. We don't even want it. We're just going to take your base. Flash go.
Ooh.
Oh my gosh.
Close.
Almost lands there onto Trigo. Gonna turn back around though. Decoy is going to fall to Dyne. Keto damage gonna be next step there on the table. Gwen is immune and she's in Zanya's. You can't hit her whatsoever. Inhibitor turret taken there in the mid lane. Inhibitor will be able to live. And finally, we're gonna go take the soul for ourselves.
Should be an easy one, right? Realm Warp lets them do it. 3-on-1 for the Dragon here. It's going to get rushed down. No opportunity for a steal from paiN Gaming. And that's how you do it, folks. You put them on the back foot. You drop back and take the objective. How they have Cloud Soul, and things get a lot worse for paiN. I mean, we saw in that last play, Mikau just barely able to catch up to Karaoke with the ultimate. If that were to happen again, Mikau just runs the Poppy down, right? That's the difference
Yeah.
in movement speed. It's in combat movement speed from the Soul. It's super buffed over the preseason. If you haven't seen it yet, it's kind of nuts, right? Looking forward to seeing them make use of this. Um, especially on kick, right? On this rise, that's a lot of movement speed there, and he'll be able to get the damage that isn't as long range as the Jinx is typically, right? You do kind of have to get within close range to get the Qs down, but he has that ability now. One thing that's pretty interesting is you have our solo laners that are such high CS at this stage. You have like 3 or 4 levels over the bot lanes, so it really is Kick doing the majority of the damage right now.
Yeah, it is. It's like we have these hyper scaling 80 carries, right? But when you're 3 levels down from Tyron, 2 levels down from Wise or Karaoke, he's vibing. He's at the same level as the bot laners right now. But even Yappy is 2 levels up on the supports, just jungle XP and taking so much XP from the laners even is giving them a lot more than their hyper carries that you would love to have XP and gold on down there. The bottom lane, Shirelli is popped by paiN. They're looking for a fight and they need to find it right now. Once again, Tyrant is not going to be allowed to be poppy ulted out of the fight, but Karaoke is just going to be dead there on the poppy. Huge kick once again onto Trigo. He is deleted from the map. Yappy flash, kick, flash, death, and Weiser's going to be next up here on the table. 4 for 0 in the favor of INTZ, and that's going to be the Nexus. That's going to be the game for INTZ, taking down paiN Gaming now.
Fantastic game there, and I like that we both predicted this.